So, as you can probably hear, we've got a little bit of rain. April showers coming down on us. I'm glad I put the tarp up. So, you hear a lot these days about these bug out bags and 72-hour bags. So I thought I'd go through and discuss what I have in my bag. I don't have the lightest of gear. I have what I like. But everything I'm carrying today, I could quite happily stay out here for 2-3 days without a problem. And that's just my, what they call everyday carry bag. So I don't get the importance of this bug out bag, the 72-hour bug out, you know, everybody's going to bug out to the woods. Well, it's the knowledge you carry with you, not just the kit you carry with you, that's going to keep you alive. So you need to learn about nature, you need to learn about the woods, the fire lighting, the cooking, the warmth, how to get warm, how to acquire food. It all comes under bushcraft, in my mind. So I'll go through and show you a few things that I carry with me all the time, just so you can make your own minds up. If you're a bushcrafter, you've probably already got it all with you anyhow. So the first thing I always carry with me, wherever I go, in my bag, is the E.D.C 3x3 tarp. And in my opinion, they're one of the best tarps for the price on the market. They've got enough tie-out points to make them into anything. You can make them into a tent with a couple of sticks or a couple of walking poles. So you don't need trees. You can put them up in the trees, as you've seen. You know how to do that now. You can anchor them right down so they'll keep you closed in. You can have them open them up so you can get a nice view like I've got. They're a really versatile piece of kit that you shouldn't be without. That's the first thing you should have in your bag all the time. And you can also make them into a stretcher if you ever need to. So again, so versatile, shouldn't be without one. I see all these people going on about Mylar blankets in the bug out bags and all that. Forget that. Get a decent tarp. Spend the money on a decent tarp. You'll do far better with that. So that's the tarp side of it. I'm not going to discuss other things that carry the sharp things, because they're all personal preference, and you can take axes, knives and anything else. That's entirely up to you. But what I do always have with me is my little saws, which again, if you've watched my videos, you've seen. Little folding saw, yeah, worth its weight in gold for cutting firewood, making furniture, anything else to do with bushcraft side of it. Really handy bit of kit. Another thing they always say you should have is a whistle. But you know me, and you've heard my tunes, so I have my own little whistle, which anybody can hear for a long way off. And it gives me something to do when I'm bored. That's another thing I always take with me. Many pockets. The other one big thing that I always have with me is my big girl fire striker. Yeah, my ferro rod, ferriculum rod, whatever you want to call them. Cracking bit of kit. I like the big one. It lasts. I've had that years now. Always good for a spark in any weather. And if you know what you're doing, you can get a fire going. So that's on that one. You can also use that with your little stoves. If you've watched my stove one, you know all about this one. It's got the little meths burner in it, the Trangia. It's got my little wood stove in it. If the meths run out, I can still get heat going with the wood stove. I can still cook, boil water if I have to. boil my food. So I've got a little bottle of Fire Dragon in there. You can take meths, you can take the capsules. It's far better than gas. Don't bother with gas. Yeah, all these guys trying to sell you gas stoves for this and gas stoves for that. It's just extra weight and extra problems, and they don't work in freezing temperatures. Your wood stove always will. So that's all in there. Another little luxury I cart round with me, thanks to Paul Mesner. I don't know if you ever watch his videos, but he's a good lad. There's a lot of wild camping, and he got me hooked on buying one of these little folding trays, tables, whatever you want to call them. And they're ideal. They just clip together. They're not lightweight. I suppose you can get lighter ones, but it's a good bit of kit because the ground's always rough, and if you've got meths and a stove going, just have something flat. It's nice. So, and to eat off as well. So that's another thing. But that's personal preference. That's that side pocket empty. The other thing you always want to carry with you is a metal water bottle. Nalgene, do a good one. I've got a Nalgene bottle at home. This is just another type of it. This is a single skinner. If you're ever using these over the fire, obviously take the plastic fittings, come off. Take them off, because otherwise you're naffed. So that'll boil your water if you have to. But I've got pans with me as well. And the next thing, if you've never seen them, are the grails. Not cheap, about 100 quid. Filters are about 15-20 quid. They last a long while. They'll filter out, if you get the right filters, pretty much everything from chemicals, plastics, heavy metals, giardia, you name it. These things shift it. This is what the guys that go all over the world use, and this is what I'd recommend anybody using. The little water filters, they're fine. Yeah. They're still expensive, they're £20-30. You might as well invest in one of these. It's going to last you a long time. And the other thing that you want with it, if you've never seen one, is a millbank bag. And these are what the military used to use a long while back for filtering your water. And they come out as such. And basically you fill that up with water from a river, from a brook, anywhere, from the rain coming off your tarp, and it will take all the debris out running into your grail bottle. Yep. And then you can filter it. That way you're not clogging your filter up on your grail, and it's going to last a hell of a lot longer. So that's your millbank bag. Again, they're not expensive, 5-10 quid tops. Well, they were until everybody started doing these bug out bags, I suppose. But you can filter your water. You can use your socks, you can use your chamois, scarves, t-shirts, anything that's going to take the debris out of the water is all you're after, really, with it. Just to stop your filter clogging up as quick. But I mean, you can boil your water, but for that you've got to have fuel. If you're out on the moors in the middle of nowhere, you're going to be hard pressed to find the fuel. You can, if you go searching in the heathers, you'll find dead heather and stuff that you can burn. But by which time I've already got my water and I've already drunk it. It's worth its weight in gold and the investment. The other thing that you should always have with you is a metal cup. There's lots of different types. This is a titanium one with a lid. There's a little lid for top of that stands up, slides over so that stays up, so you can lift it on and off, check it's boiling. It's 75mm, is it? 750mm, sorry. So a metal cup again, you can boil water in it, you can drink your brew in it, you can eat out of it. Well worth having. And lightweight and not expensive. And of course, you can't go anywhere without the dog treats. Gotta have the dog treats or she'll get upset. We'll go for the top. Let's see what I've got in here. Rain cover. Again, you'll notice that most of my kit is in the little bags, the dry bags. Simply, if the rain cover's wet through, it's stopped raining, I no longer need it on, I'm not going to put it in there wet through. I can put it in the dry bag, it keeps everything in there dry, and it doesn't matter, I can dry that out later. So that's the reason for having everything in the dry bags, including the top. You've all seen this if you've seen my hammock videos. No need to get up at night time, not for the size and weight of it. Great little thing to have. Just don't get it confused with the one that you're drinking out of. But if it's your own, I don't suppose it's a bother anyhow. What else have we got here? Again, dry bag, dried food. Now with the dried food, I always put it in a dry bag and then the poly bags. And I know some of you will be against the poly bags, but I don't care. It's what I do. You don't have to. In here, I've got it double bagged, so there's no moisture going to get into there. If I drop my pack in a stream, a river, hopefully it'd come out unscathed and still all be edible. So that's a major tip for a bug out situation anyhow. In here I've got porridge oats, just a bit of hot water with them and you've got a good breakfast. I've got mug shop pastas of different varieties, very filling, loads of carbs, cup of soups, again warming, filling. I've got bacon and cheese perfect mash. I can highly recommend them. You would not believe the mashed potato that makes. And if you've got a tin of ham with you or a tin of corned beef, throw some of that in there and you've got a cracking little meal, and you know you've had it. And my friends that have had that with me, talking to you Shane, they enjoyed it. A couple of coffees, little packet of Ritz crackers and some dextrose tablets. Keep the sugar and body levels up. And that would actually quite easily suffice for 2 to 3 days. I have got other stuff with me as well, but that's just the food side of it. You've got to remember you can go for 3 weeks without food, so they say. After a week to 10 days without food, you can forget the 3 weeks without food. You're going to know it. And it's the same with water. They say 3 days without water, but after a day and a half without water, you're going to know it. And your body's going to start shutting down. Everybody's different. Everybody shuts down differently from food to liquids. Put the Ziploc bags, keeps the air out, and in a dry bag as well. Little ration packs. You don't need all the MREs, they're heavy. They're nice, don't get me wrong, I've got some myself. But they're heavy, they weigh. You'd be better getting a tin of ham, tin of corned beef, slicing it up and putting it in a vac pack yourself, and then getting some of the dried noodles, dried spaghetti, all that kind of stuff, the mashed potato, and mixing it yourselves with that. It's a lot lighter, you'll get more with you than all they come up with the 72 hour stuff. That's that top pocket. And then we'll go into this pack. Now some of this, somebody will say these things are redundant, and I don't care. One of them, not a must, you can make a digging stick to dig your little latrine holes with. Yeah, but they're very handy and they're lightweight. It's neither here nor there. And it's handy in the morning when you're tired. Head torch. This is my little head torch. It's got the green light, the red light and the highlight. Now the red light, if you don't know, is for insects at night. It stops them flying into it and flying at you. I believe the green light, the military uses it for reading maps at night, so I got told. And the white light, obviously, is just a normal torch light. So it's a good little head torch, rechargeable one. Again, the camera you're watching me on right now is on a power brick at the moment. So having a power brick with you, very handy. They weigh a bit, but they're worth the weight in gold if you want to keep your phone charged. You've got a torch on your phone as well, don't forget. And other things. I have another torch hanging on my strap. That's my main torch for walking with at night. And again, that's on the rechargeable batteries. This is why I take a couple of these with me. They're fully charged, wrapped up, waterproofed again in poly bags. So I've always got the quick option of changing that out, and I just have that on and it lights the ground in front of me to see where I'm going. On that torch at night time, if you were in an odd situation, shall we say, where you didn't want people to see you or the insects to get you, if I can find it, too many pockets, you can quite simply get, this was an old vitamin bottle, and just drill some little holes in it, cut it off, put some elastic on it, it'll go over the end of the torchlight and it gives you that red light, and it works. So that's just another thing. I also have, but this is mainly for road use, a flashing light on here, which apparently has stopped flashing, but it's still on. So that's just from road use. And I also have one on the back here, a red one for at night time. These are a cycle light, and again that just goes on. If I could find the on button, which I can't at the minute. It's there somewhere. There you go. And that's mainly for traffic. It's just like they think there's a bike there, they've seen you, they know you're there. There's a handy little thing to have on the back of your pack. Just on with elastic again on the med pack. So that was that. Most important of all, to some anyhow. Toilet paper, kitchen towel, many uses, I don't have to explain them all. And a compass, good, reasonably good compass, just to give you a bearing if you need it, for when I'm using a map. And that was in there. I'll shove them back, and I'll know where they all are. Then in here, this varies a little. Always have the tarp with me. Today I've got the hammock with me. You've seen the one wind if you've watched my videos. I was going to put it up. I'm not so sure I will now. Maybe another day. It's just a hammock. Yeah. You don't like the hammock. Right. What else have we got? Again, if you've seen my videos, you've heard me rave on about the Bushman. Cracking bit of kit. If you haven't watched the video I did on the hammocks, and you'll see all about it. It's an underquilt, a poncho, a blanket, thermal blanket. Really handy with you. If I had to, under the tarp here, I can make a bed down, get some of the dead trees, even on the heathers, on the moors, make a bed out of them, put this over it, put this over me, and I'm warm-ish. Sails hot, warmish. The other one I'll rave about, but it's on the same videos as the one Tigress down quilt. There's no weight to these. It's not like, between them is probably the weight of a very lightweight sleeping bag, but the versatility of them both is astounding in comparison. So if you were thinking of something for that, for your bug out bags or your 72 out bags, I'd look at stuff like that. In here, just got some lightweight waterproofs with me today. I've got a lightweight poncho and a lightweight rain jacket. So the poncho comes down above ankle height, keeps my legs dry, and the rain jacket underneath it. They will wet out. Most of the cheaper nylon-y material will wet out and go. I've got a double ventile jacket and Gore-Tex trousers if I really want to go, but you pay for the price with the weight. There's not a lot of weight to these, and it's spring, so it's only going to be showers. These are more than adequate. Again, dress for the season, take the kit for the season. Another one of the main things, which again, if you've watched my hammock videos, you'll have seen. Here's my bivvy tins and what's in them. Handy bit of kit, not a lot of weight, not for what you're carrying. I've got tea bags, hot chocolate, more coffee. Yeah, it's the things like that that are going to keep morale up if you do have to go anywhere. And that's empty amounts too. Again, another dry bag. A little bit of roll deodorant, personal preference. Don't like stinking too much when I'm around my mates. These are excellent. These are excellent military wash bowls. You just fold the top about an inch over all the way around, and you can wash your pots, you can wash your face, you can wash your body. You've got a pure, even out, give the dog a drink. Anything you like. And they fall flat by just rolling them back again. So again, a really useful, handy bit of kit. Not a lot of money, not a fiver. Were when I bought them anyhow. I've also got hand sanitizer. Again, good for cleaning cuts as well, not just that. Bug spray. Yeah, I'd say that's one of the far better things to put in a bug out bag. Yeah, especially for city folk that aren't used to the outdoors and don't know what else to use. I've got a sewing kit in an old plastic tube with needles, threads, safety pins, bits and pieces, air bubbles, all personal stuff, bit of gaffer tape around it as well. Easy enough to make up yourself, and again, if your tarp gets ripped, you can fix it. You've got the gaffer tape, you've got the needle and thread. So all double usage, all versatile. Toothbrush, little folding one, and toothpaste. You can put that in a little pot like that, little type makeup type pot that's been cleaned out, and you've got your brushing teeth, keeping them healthy and clean. I have some more wet wipes in there, along with a little bar of soap. I have some waterproof matches, which again, if you've watched my videos on the fire stuff, you've already seen them. And that is Vaseline and cotton wool emergency fire starting. If you've never seen that go up, again, watch the videos. That was that little bag. Nothing really in there that you couldn't live without, or making the bush, but all handy to have with you for not a lot of weight, and stuff I'd recommend if you were making a bug out bag for yourself, or a 72-hour bag, or whatever they want to call it. And again, use these. Anything breaks in there, it's likely to stay in there, it's not likely to go all over the pack. The other one item in here, no, two items here. Little plastic dish. Just a bit of luxury, a bit of comfort. And a ground sheet tarp. So if I have to bivvy out, I can put this on the ground. It's going to keep me dryish. I wouldn't say keep you waterproof, but it'll keep you dryish, keep your chill off. I can put it over anything I make a bed out of out here. Yeah, and again, it just gives me that little bit of comfort for not a lot of weight. It's got multiple uses, which I can use with a hammock and things. Like I said, a good little bit of kit, and that was about it, I think. Carry a med kit, that's personal preference. I've got all sorts of stuff in there. The med kit you choose should be for you. Your medication, plasters, you don't need to go mad with them. I've got probably an excessive amount in there, but I do use it for me, the wife and the dog, so it is the three of us or more, and I have used it for friends in the past, so, and I'm qualified to use it as well. That's the other thing. It's alright having all this stuff, having all this gear. If you don't know how to use it, there's no point. There's many a thing you can use in the woods, in the bush, that'll heal wounds, dry wounds up, plasters, all natural. They're all out there. Lots of herbs. It's the knowledge. So my take to anybody who's taking the advice of the government and these bags that they're on about is to forget that and spend that time and energy learning. Never stop learning. Nature's got so much to offer, and you'll be rewarded for it tenfold for anything that you carry, always. So like I said, anyhow, that's enough ranting from the old man. The other thing you might have noticed me wearing a lot, and I always wear them, is what I like to call my man bag. Women get a big shopping bag and big purses and that. Men never have enough pockets to put anything in. So I love these types of chilies. I have all sorts of stuff in them. From a bit of plantain balm that I made up, which is, if you don't know what plantain balm is, you might do one day. I'll do a thing on it. There's, because my eyes are crap, little lens for reading, but also for looking at splinters, ticks, things in nature, fire lighting. If we ever do get any sunshine, you can light a fire with them. I have done a video on that. That you've seen today, little toggle on a string, put your bag off the ground always. Why would you want it on the mucky, wet, damp ground? It's expensive bits of kit. Wrap it round a tree, bit of moss on it is far better than it rotting out in the bottom of the bag and all your stuff disappearing down the trail. Not that they do these days, but they used to. Another one that I carry in my pocket, which again, if you've seen my fire videos, is a little striker. If you ever lose your bag, having these little odds and ends can make a big difference. Lighter, Bic, flint wheel, gaffer tape round it, and that's in that pocket. It's all odds and sods, but bits and pieces that you've ever needed would make your life a hell of a lot easier. And the odds of you losing this vest, if you fell into a river, had to run for your life for whatever reason, this is still with you. You've still got everything here that you're carrying at the end of it, whereas this is gone. So it can make the difference between life and death. It sounds a bit corny, but it can. There's my phone case in there. Another one of the things I always have with me, which if you've ever been up to the forests of Scotland or in any forest at certain times of the year, is a bug net for your head. Pretty necessity in the woods. And again, I'd put one in your bug out bags, yeah, because that's going to save you a lot more hassle, grief, and aggravation, yeah, than some of the things that they're putting in these bags that they're calling experts. Too many pockets, I lose things all the time. The lens cover you've seen, like I said again, just a bottle of a plastic bottle. Because I'm old, I need reading specs, so I have a pair of them in there. But again, the magnifier. Because I'm vain, I have a comb. And again, a little magnifier multi-tool thing with a blade on it. And little socket things. There's all sorts of bits and pieces on it. A compass that I wouldn't rely on. Tape measure, could be handy. Little tiny screwdriver in the top as well if I need to fix my glasses perhaps. So. We have a bottle opener. And some keys. And my wallet. Another little handy gizmo is a fire bellows. If you're not used to lighting fires and blowing them into flame and all the rest, these are really handy. Just blow through. You can sit quite comfy here with the fire down there and blow the flame and get the fire going back into flame again. But just a handy bit of kit to have around. And a straw if you need it, I suppose. I like to carry things that have multiple uses. I think if something hasn't got at least 3 uses that you can think of, there isn't much point in carrying it. oh, another lighter for some strange reason. A DC4, which is a whetstone with a diamond stone on the back, and a leather which you can put the diamond stone up, and you've got a strap. So if your knives are blunt, if you carry a knife or your axe or anything else, you can sharpen it up. Okay, you could find stones while you're out. There's always alternatives, but it's just one of them handy things to have with you. I have a bag of personal drugs, all legitimate, I can assure you. Well, that's about it. Oh, some sunglasses in there, and another thing I always carry with me is a little thin pair of thermal liner gloves, which are surprisingly warming when your hands are freezing, and they just go in there. Other bits of kit that I've left out, I would have a change of clothes, which I normally have with me, which I haven't brought today. I was trying to lighten the pack a bit. I had to bring the camera gear. That just consists of 2 pairs of socks, a pair of long johns thermal, and a thermal top. I have a woolly hat, a shamar. I normally have them with me. Again, the shamar's so versatile, if I'm pronouncing it right. Scarf for you and I. It's just one of them really versatile bits of kit. It's just a big piece of material. So many uses. And I could happily, with the knowledge I've got at my level, and I'm sure there's more experienced people out there than I am, get by and make myself quite comfy with just what I'm carrying. And this is, like I said, 45 litre pack, and 3 days easy, standing on your head. 3 weeks, you'd be looking for food. That's all. Your cooking, your food's there, your water purification's there, everything else is there. So like I said, these bags that they're going on about making a big thing out, it's 90% what's in here, 10% of what's here, and that's how anybody will thrive and survive in nature. I hope that was interesting. I've got to put it all back together now. Thanks for that. See you again. Couple of bits I forgot to mention because I was sat on it. One of these little folding mats. Great for a seat mat while you're out. But also, if you have got to camp out anywhere, that area on your hip, if you're old like me, that's where you suffer. If you just slept on that, you're going to have a far better night's sleep than without it. That's for sure. And the other thing was a bit of cutlery, titanium set I've got in there. I've also got a can opener in there. Don't really need the can opener, but it's in there. And a face cloth. Again, don't particularly need it, but it's there. It's a handy bit of kit. You can do a lot of things with it, even wiping the tarp down. So there were just a couple of bits I'd forgot. Pretty much everything else I've covered, I've got with me. So now it's time to take the soggy tarp down, and I'm so glad I've got a dry bag to put it in.